was surprised to find out that people were like me, and they were people do have to look at the stratagem combination to actually pull off the stratagems. So I put it out there, and I was like, how many stratagems do you guys know? Like, I know I have to look every time, right, Mike?
Yeah.
So this last episode, as one of the questions, I was like, let's find out. Let's see how it goes, right?
Okay.
The options were 0, I still have to look, 1 to 4, 5 to 7, or I know all of them. Right?
Yeah.
So we've got 39%, basically 40% people saying I have to look every time to pull off those stratagems. And that makes me feel better because that's me. That's me. I'm like, I know I'm supposed to be remembering these.
Yeah.
But I can't. I don't know why. And they even have stratagem here to help you out. So that's pretty cool.
I think the only one I can do without looking is the reinforcement.
Oh, yeah, because you do it so much.
I didn't say that. I'm just saying that's the one I know.
I set myself up good for that one.
I didn't say anything about why.
Okay. Fair enough. But I know exactly why. And then we've got 1 to 4 stratagems they can pull off by memory, and that's 50%. 50% of you out there. Yeah.
That's pretty good.
That's really good. And that's the people you want to be on teams with. Those are the people that know how to pull them off when they need to. They don't have to look. Like, they're just a prop, and they're in. You got 7% saying 5 to 7. So, okay. So that's a lot. That's a lot of stratagems to kind of remember. Mm-hmm. So you're getting into like the people who are like, half geniuses,
Yeah.
Or they qualify for what's that really genius level thing called? Mensa? I don't know.
Mensa, yeah.
So they got their Mensa cards, and then one person saying, "I know all of them," and that has to be Elon Musk.
Elon's out there typing in the Eagle airstrike.
Yeah, he knows them all. He's like,
yeah.
There you go. So I just wanted to
knowing them all. That's intense. I mean, knowing them all by heart and not having to look, that is
getting them right every single time.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
That's really impressive. My hat's off to Elon.
I'm not wearing a hat, but if I was, I'd be taking it off.
All right. All right. And speaking of taking things off, let's take this episode off, huh? What do you say, Mike?
Taking it. Let's go.
Where are we going to take it?
To the episodes.
To the other episodes, of course.
The same place the other episodes are.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? One thing I've noticed, we never say the name of the podcast. And if we do, we never say the full name.
I said it once.
You did?
Yeah. I think it was the last episode. I said this is Super Earth Podcast.
But what about the little extra part?
A Helldivers radio broadcast? Is that what it is?
No. So you're obviously one of those 50% of 1 to 4 stratagems. You can't even remember the episode, the title of the podcast.
What can I say?
All right, so it's Super Earth Podcast, a Helldivers radio stream.
Oh, dude, I was so close. Come on. You gotta give me I know a couple of those stratagems at that point. I don't have my Mensa card, but I'm doing okay.
All right. Well, because I'm nice, I'll give it to you.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you, benevolent Overlord Leto.
That's Malevolon.
Oh, Malevolon.
Malevolent Lord.
Malevolent. So, yeah, dude, there's so much to talk about.
We couldn't wait.
Yeah, and I don't even know where to begin.
I don't know either.
I will begin. How about this? I'll begin with this article by PC Gamer. Jonathan Boulding at PC Gamer writes a story about how some people are dealing with toxic hosts.
Oh, yeah. This is
Right?
a bit. This takes the fun right out of everything.
It does, but not entirely. There are people who are figuring out ways to, strike back at people who are making it miserable. So Snazzlefraxis posted this on social media, right, after dealing with somebody who was being super toxic. You were 10 minutes into the match with no primaries completed and one reinforce left, and you almost instantly died in front of my eyes. I picked up the precious super samples, stealing my reserve to deliver them to our democratic scientists back on the ship. But after that, they all kind of rallied, and I guess it was looking better, but this guy was still being a problem, and so they turned on him, right? And so this is how Snazzlefraxis finishes it. As I watch my teammate B3 go down and disappear from the server, I made a desperate choice because this guy was kicking players. I ran with your super samples to the edge of the mission area and kept on running. I wish I would have stuck around to hear your pitiful complaints and whining when you realized what I had done, but I was already tired of hearing it.
Wow.
So Snazzlefraxis, he did an act of treason by running out of bounds, right? Did you know this? I didn't know this until recently, that when you run out of bounds, the way you die is that your side fires upon you. It's an act of treason. And so they kill you if you run out of bounds. I didn't realize that.
You're forced to fight. Yeah.
Yeah. So this guy takes all of the super samples and runs all the way out of bounds so nobody can pick them up.
Oh,
runs
wow.
as far as he can go. And so that was how Snazzlefraxis dealt with a toxic host.
I guess that's one way to do it. Just, you're not going to get any rewards with being, a toxic player.
Right.
People also have the ability to counter some of their actions. I mean, it's weird, man. Like we were saying, this is not the game to try to compete against or have your own agenda. It's
right.
to fight the bugs, fight the robots, keep Super Earth prosperous, make more planets available so you can procreate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
it's not about putting your own human kind of spin on it, unfortunately. Right. And so people are I think are standing up. I think and that's what it is. It's like, I think it's the first time we've had a platform where it's all pro, it's all pro co-op. And,
right.
and the majority of everything, the way it's set up, is for you to work as a team, communicate as a team, and achieve your goal as a team. So when there's this obvious counter to that, people are just sick of it, and they're fighting back, and that's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to see. Hopefully, these other people get bored and go back to what they were doing, and it's usually people will eventually move on, I'm assuming.
Yeah. So did you know that there is an online Helldivers map that actually shows how the planets are connected? Because one of the things about the more recent major order was that people saw, liberate 2 planets, no big deal, right? But then they realized there are all these other planets that needed to be liberated before we could even get to those planets. So I found out there is a website, hd2galaxy.com, where you can actually look at the entire galaxy and how each planet, it shows the liberation progress for each planet that's being fought for, and sort of the jump off points. And it's almost like a supply chain, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You got to have, you got to maintain all the equipment you need and all the pathways clear. And they're kind of making it like all the logistics need to check out for you to be able to get to this planet.
Right.
and all the supply lines, all the food, all the bullets, all the guns, all the ammos, everything. So it's just another level of realism that they're adding, which is pretty awesome.
Mm-hmm.
What was the name of that website again? I'm trying to look it up.
hd2galaxy.com.
hd2galaxy.com. Okay, that's 3 times.
So
So people should remember.
Yeah. The argument was that people should be able to see those in game.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be a great map to go to.
Yeah, I agree. I mean,
Wow. It's not straight lines. It's kind of fractured.
right. It's all over the place.
Wow. Yeah, this is good. So this is sanctioned by Arrowhead Games and Gaming and
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know if it is or not. So, yeah. So I thought that was interesting. I wanted to share that, if anybody wants to check that out, hd2galaxy.com.
Wow.
Yeah. So here's something. One more thing I wanted to pose before we get into a couple ship names. There's an article on Game Rant, right? It says, it's by Anthony Bussing. It says, Helldivers 2 exosuits should take notes from Titanfall 2.
Uh-oh.
Now, you played Titanfall 1, right?
Yeah, quite a bit. Yeah, it was my one and only Xbox. What was the one after the 360? 1?
Titanfall 2, Xbox One.
Xbox One, yeah. It's the only game I bought for that system, and I got rid of that system.
Because your jerk friends all bought PS4.
They did. All jerk friends did.
But then we did eventually buy Xboxes.
And I was like, forget it. I'm not going back.
Yeah, you didn't go back. Now you're on PC, where you belong, I think.
I believe so. I feel good on PC.
So one of the things that they mentioned in here was like having some sort of nuke eject.
Yeah.
From, and I just kind of wanted to bring that up and see what you thought. Like,
yeah. Well, I think you kind of can do that. You just get out of it. Not nuke eject, but you could just get out of it before it blows up. So
right.
But you want like a rocket yourself out of there.
Yeah, people are saying like intentionally eject and blow it up. And I could see that there's a character in Overwatch that does exactly that. And it's like her super. I think it's Diva. And I could see where that could come into play and that could be cool. But at the same time, I think the whole point of the exosuit is like balance.
Right.
If they made it too strong, people would just use that all the time.
Also, the fact that it just blows up when it reaches, critical, whatever, it kind of adds that whole potentially friendly fire, if you're by it, so it adds that other level of,
Yeah, and if you want to add something that could contribute to griefing, that's how you do it.
Right.
You give people a machine that they can nuke at will and blow up everybody and leave the server.
Yeah. And then you'll see, then you see a lot of unhappy people. So, yeah, I mean, I think it's fine the way it is. It doesn't really need to be tweaked, in my opinion,
Yeah, I agree.
But I haven't used it in higher levels. Maybe people also want it to be a little bit more, want it to be stronger or more powerful than it is. Because when I use it, I'm like, okay, this is fun.
Right.
But like, I don't think this is a game changer.
No, it's not. But it almost seems like it should be. Like it feels, feels like it should be. But I think it's better that it's not.
Right.
You call it down, you want it to just be something that mows down everything in your path, and then you realize that's not the case.
Right. I mean, they give you so many rounds, but I don't think they're super powerful rounds.
Well, you have rockets too.
Yeah, you do got the rockets, a limited supply, which is cool.
Right.
Well, why don't we get to some of these ship names? Because, man, they are piling up.
Yes, they are.
And these people took the time, these nice people out there took the time to write in their names, and I'm super appreciative. They're even writing the ship names where they're not supposed to be writing ship names, which is telling me like they want their ship names right. Like other questions, I'm not going to answer your question. I'm going to give you my ship name.
Which is fine. I mean, to be fair, they may not know where the appropriate or where what we consider to be the appropriate place to leave a ship name. So,
right, yeah.
I don't even know what we consider the appropriate place.
Okay. Well, let me explain. We got it on. You can go to our trailer episode, and there's a question there.
Mm-hmm.
What's your ship name? What's the name of your ship? You can put them there,
mm-hmm.
or you could put them on episode 3.
Okay.
That one also has what is your ship name? That's the big one. And then people are just putting their ship names as well as like wherever there's a question. So, and they're also emailing them to us.
That's a good.
Right. They're emailing them to superearthpod@gmail.com.
Okay.
And, while we're on that topic, can I bring up an email I got that kind of helped me notice something?
Okay.
We got an email here from Daniel.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, "Hello, I'm new to Health Divers too. I play with my brothers or solo. I noticed a comment y'all made about oil from the terminid remains. Remember you were talking about this?
Yeah.
Okay, so there is a comment that the woman makes when you get back from a mission. She says, all those terminids will be used to fuel the war effort. So he's like, he doesn't exactly remember what she says word for word, but but one of those NPCs mentions it if you go and talk to him or something.
Yeah.
So that completely went over my head. I didn't even notice it.
Yeah, I don't remember that voice line. So, yeah, I mean the information is definitely out there. We don't always piece it together as quickly as the people listening to us. So you'll have to give us some grace on that, I think.
Oh yeah, no, I don't think he's saying like, hey, like you guys didn't notice that. I think he's saying, hey, check this out. Like,
yeah, he's confirming it.
He's confirming, and here's a little bit of
support to the theory. Yeah,
exactly. Also, his name is the ship name is Whisper of Authority.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you for your service, Daniel, and thanks for the email. Keep reaching out and keep adding, your 2 cents whenever you need to help us out. We appreciate it. Let's see where we're at. We want to reel off some more ship names, Mike?
Yeah, we can rock a few of these.
Okay, so we got from Cryo. Mm-hmm. His name is, my ship name has a very long name, and it's called Elective Representative of the Constitution.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you for your service. Thank you for the long one. You put a lot of thought in the piecing those two together.
Yeah, he did. All right, so coming up next, we have Samuel, whose ship name is the SES Whisper of Midnight.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I didn't know Midnight had a voice, but that, if it is, I'm sure it would be a whisper.
It would be a whisper. I agree. So, Master Sindo, the Arbiter of Peace.
Thank you for your service, Master Sindo. That has to be a Jedi name, I would assume.
It sounds like it, yeah. And then I think the image almost looks like lightsabers.
For real?
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like a Jedi peace symbol.
Yeah, it's exactly what it looks like.
Let's see, Benjamin's got the Fist of Selfless Service. Oh, I like this.
Yeah. Thank you for your service.
Thank you for your selfless service.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah. All right. We've got Scott with the SES Fist of Democracy.
I like these fist ones.
Yeah.
I think they're direct. They're to the point. They're effective. Anything you put with fist is an automatic heck yeah from me.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of like mine. I still like mine. Hammer of Liberty,
Yeah, you can bing over someone's head. Have some liberty on your head.
That's right.
Take that with you.
That's right. I am the hammer of liberty, and you are the nail of injustice.
I will pound you into oblivion.
That's right.
We got Ken here, the SES Prophet of Truth. And in brackets, he says, Halo reference. Can you help me out with that, Mike?
Prophet of Truth. I know that comes from Halo, but I don't know exactly where. I would have to look it up.
Is it the name of the ship that...
Let's see. The Prophet of Truth. I am Truth, the voice of the covenant. The high prophet of truth, born Ord Casto, and formerly known as the Minister of Fortitude, was the leader of the three prophet hierarchs that led the Covenant High Council during the Ninth Age of Reclamation. The central antagonist in Halo 2 and 3.
Okay, Halo 2 and 3. I was about to say, which game?
Yeah, he was one of the main instigators of the war against humanity, and that is from the Halo wiki.
Interesting.
It sounded familiar, but it's been so long since I played Halo 2 and 3 that I didn't remember exactly where it came from.
You asked me to name some sort of Halo reference, and I'm saying the Pillar of Autumn.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's about it. Yeah.
That's all I got.
Yeah, exactly. Cortana, Pillar of Autumn, Magnum. I can mention some weapons. Blood Gulch. Running Riot.
Library. Yeah, there you go. It's funny you mentioned that of the Running Riot soundbite, because every time I see my number on Helldivers 2, like, when you see the skull and the number that of the kills in succession, I always want someone. I mean, and you kind of do if you have the stalwart, you kind of do have some sort of soundbite, but I kind of want like a guaranteed, after 5, Running Riot or Master Killer guy or something.
Yeah. It would be kind of cool to have something.
Have a little soundbite get triggered after like 10 kills or 20 kills or something like that.
I could see that being kind of fun.
All right.
Yeah. All right. Maybe that's enough Halo talk for right now. Although that does kind of touch on something that you want to do in the future. Mm-hmm. And for that purpose, I recently downloaded Halo Infinite. So,
for real?
Yeah.
Why that one?
Because it's the most recent. To get a better idea of where Halo is at right now. Because I think the last Halo I played was 5, and that was a while ago. I've mostly been playing Destiny since then. And if we're going to compare and contrast, I think I wanted to at least dip my toes in where Halo is at right now.
I don't ever want to leave Halo 1, so that's how we differ.
I mean, that is the benchmark.
For real.
Yeah.
I mean, Halo 2 was cool, but it didn't have the gulch, so it went quickly, fizzled, if you ask me.
Yeah. I think the gulch is probably one of the best multiplayer maps ever made.
Absolutely. So another question that popped up on our episode 5 when I asked if anyone had a question for the Skull Admiral from the Father of Democracy is, what are your thoughts about the current situation with the Terminate Front, new flying bugs, and increase in spores?
Okay. Well, we finally had a run-in with the flying bugs recently. We did our first 2 missions on hard difficulty successfully. And we were playing with Matthew at the time. So thank you for that, Matthew. Thank you for helping us out there.
Thank you for showing us the way.
Yeah. And actually, he kind of left us to our own devices a lot of the time, which actually helped. It taught us like what to do and not to do, because we were kind of running around figuring it out.
Yeah, he was kind of like just sitting back and just guiding us, or saying, hey, you're on the right track. You're on the right track.
Yeah. So the flying bugs are interesting. Apparently, they have specific nests that need to be destroyed in order to get them to stop showing up, which was pretty chaotic for us at the time because we had never done a hard mission before. So there were
I
bugs.
didn't even know we were doing a hard. I thought we were.
Ha ha ha. I tricked you. Yeah,
it was so late.
I did it on purpose because I figured if we all went in without saying anything, if we went in like, oh, this mission's on hard, this is going to be hard, it would change our whole attitude. But if we just go in and we just start blasting, and that it ended up working out. But I remember, so when we faced the flying bugs, there were a ton of them, and you and I were hiding in a bunker.
We were.
Yeah.
We were.
We were hiding in one of those like dual, like 2-button door bunkers.
And there was a flamethrower in there. I'm like, oh, sweet. I'm going to use this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that didn't work out.
So what do I think? I think the flying bugs are interesting. It adds a good dynamic to where you're not constantly looking at the terrain, and you kind of have to. It just adds a whole nother level of holy crap.
Exactly, and their bases are huge. So you got to watch out for those. I mean, you can't miss them, but when you're around them, you're like, oh boy, we got to take that out.
Yeah, and like so much was happening at that time that I didn't know where the nest was. So that was something Matthew helped us with.
So, real quick, I'm saying, what do I think about those bugs? I don't like them.
They're not as bad as the hunters, though.
Yeah.
The hunters are those ones that like leap at you and stab you a couple times real quick and kill you like instantly. But
still, I mean, I can get my stim in there in between the stabbing.
Sometimes.
If there's only one. If there's multiple, then I'm dead. But.
Toast. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a challenge for sure. And then the increased spores, I think that's kind of fun. It gives you more to do if you're looking to do, that type of activity instead of just running around doing the major objectives.
Okay, cool. I think you kind of brought up something, just by answering that question, you kind of brought up something I think I would like to try on this show, and that's have people share their Helldiver stories with us.
Okay.
So I think there's a really easy way to do it, and I'll explain. One is you could email them to us.
Okay.
At superearthpod@gmail.com. You can just write it out and we can read them.
Right.
Or you could leave us a voice message. And there's a link to our Spotify podcasters page that has a link to show you, that could walk you right through the whole situation.
Okay.
Basically, you hit the link, you record whatever mic you got, could just be your cell phone. And then you just hit send and it'll send it right to us. And then, we can collect these stories and we can have a whole episode of people just telling us their Helldivers war stories, And I think that'd be kind of fun.
I think that would be cool.
Yeah. Like, put the focus on the people out there listening, and not just have us tell our stories, because I'm sure they're super entertaining, but I'm sure you guys out there have some just as exciting and entertaining stories in mind. And like, if you've got one in mind right now, as I say this, that's the one you should submit.
Absolutely. Yeah. Send it now.
Right.
Pause, send your story, come back. So
yeah. So like, let's get some of these stories together, and then we'll put together an episode and, we'll just hear everyone's, experiences, and it'll be fun.
Yeah. That reminds me of another question that somebody posted, which was, is Skull Admiral Matthew going to be the only Skull Admiral that we have on the show? The answer to that question is no.
No.
We would like to, and we plan to have other Helldivers experts or players, depending on the story, the interactions. It's not really cut and dry. You don't have to be a Skull Admiral necessarily to make it onto the show. I will say, just a little teaser, that I'm working on an interview with a very special guest.
What?
Yeah.
Do tell. Spill your beans.
I'm not going to spill the beans because I don't want to say it. It's not a dev. I'll say that. It's not a dev, but it is a member of the Helldivers community.
Oh.
And they have agreed, but we just have to lock them in.
Lock into a date and time?
Yeah.
Perfect.
So
how about 5 minutes from now?
How about, yeah. They're right here. So we definitely plan to have, different ranges of experience, and we're not that experienced ourselves. That's why we want to bring on people who know more about the game.
Right. I mean, because if we're out here in a public forum, we want to make sure you guys out there are getting some good quality information, and that might not even come from us, and we're okay. We know that, we're not the most experienced, but there's no reason why we can't get people on the show that are. And there is something I'm kind of mulling over in contemplating, and I see hints that it could potentially be possible.
Okay.
So I was looking at our geographic data.
All right.
And there are some numbers that indicate, people in Sweden are listening.
Huh.
Yeah. There's a specific county in Sweden where there's a specific city that's in that county.
Uh-huh.
That is very it's a little bit too on point to be a coincidence. If you
Is that me. Right?
It's yeah. So that would be pretty cool if we could get someone from that county in that specific city, and maybe a specific building in that city.
Yeah.
To eventually come on the show.
Yes, I agree. That's one of our goals, I'd have to say.
Yeah.
Right?
No names, please.
No names right now, but yeah, I wholeheartedly agree. And if they are listening, I just want to say that's super cool. We never expected anything
exactly
like that, or we never expected the responses we are getting. So
exactly, we thought we'd just be, in the corner of the podcasting world and just echoing to ourselves. But no, somebody must have caught on and found us and put us on blast, because it's wild.
Yeah.
The level of responses we're getting and participation. And
we love it. And we appreciate you guys and girls.
Absolutely.
100%.
Yeah, I wanted to come on this show, and I just want to be look, Mike, let's just get through some of these ship names. Let's do some house cleaning, Let's get these people are they take their time to, took the time to respond. Yeah. And share their names and share their titles. And let's try to get through as much as we can. I mean, right now we're overflowing with ship names,
which is fine. We can read a couple more if you want.
Let's do it. Let me go work my way from the top down, I guess.
Okay.
And then we got Helston, Paragon of Perseverance.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you for your service. And thank you for the perseverance of continuing to not stop playing. Right? Because that's...
Yes.
Don't give up.
That's right. Continue to feed the war machine.
There you go. We got Damon saying he's got the King of Humanity.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you for your service. You got Mateo with Champion of Glory.
Very nice.
Very cool name. Yeah, it sounds like a boxer. I'm coming at you, the Champion of Glory, Mateo. Very good. We got Donnie with the Executor of Eternity.
Nice.
Very cool.
Nice.
Wasn't there an RPG with Eternity in it? Because it's like a D&D game.
Yes, but I can't think of it right now.
Something about eternity. Path of Eternity, something like that? I don't know. Strike that. We got Owen saying, my ship is the SCS Wings of Freedom, and y'all still looking for people to play with? ? Are we?
Yes. Yes,
we are. Yeah, there's always, it's always like, yeah, everyone's excited. Let's play. I'm like, okay, cool. Here's my code. And then like it doesn't happen for a couple of weeks, but it will happen. Just bear with us. We're busy guys.
Right. As much as we love this game, we do have a lot going on. So we're on a couple times a week, basically. We're not on all the time. So
at this point, I think we're podcasting more than we're playing.
Or at least as much.
Yeah, probably right on par.
Yeah.
All right. We got the Ashton saying Executor of Steel.
Nice.
Nice.
All right. We've got Alex and with the Whisper of Peace.
All right. And this will probably be the last one here for today. Gritty Grid 3 with the Citizen of Freedom.
Very nice. Thank you for your service.
Thank you guys for your service. Thank you for writing in. Thank you for sharing your ship names.
Mm-hmm.
They're awesome. You know what? One thing I've noticed, I think we've only had one repeat.
Yeah.
And I think that's the Fist of Audacity.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Of all the names we've announced, that seems to be the only one that's come up twice. And that's because that's Matthew's name. And then it's also a God to some. So.
Gotcha.
There you go.
So yeah, I guess going forward, we have been putting in like first names or usernames if they're not like an actual name, just to kind of differentiate, because I think it's inevitable that repeats will come up.
Right.
So that's a way of telling the difference between this person or that person.
Very good. All right. Well, I have an announcement to make.
Please do announce.
I waited to the very end. It was very hard. But I bought Helldivers 1.
What?
I did.
Wait, what? No, I'm kidding.
Helldivers 1 is in my Steam account, my library, yes.
Oh, man. All right. Well, that means I have to buy it on Steam. I have it on PlayStation, but we got to go back and play the first game.
It was like 80% off, like right now, for like the next few days. So
okay.
It was like $8 for like the expansion and the regular game.
Yeah. And you know what kind of sucks is on PlayStation, I had the original game, and then there was like a PS Plus or something where they packaged all the DLCs, and I got all of those. But it uninstalled the original game that had all of my progress.
Oh.
Yeah, so, I mean, I'm going to be starting over.
Well, let's start this one together.
Heck yeah.
Nice.
Let's do it.
Now I'll be well informed after if I get through it.
Yeah. And you'll have someone to play with, which I did not back in the day.
Oh, well, yeah.
Wow.
All right, well, I think it's time to go play. What do you think?
Oh, it's time. Let's go play.
Let's do it.
All Super Earth podcast content is based on the game Helldivers 2, created by Arrowhead Game Studios and published by Sony Interactive Entertainment.